today's class we are going to see the concept arithmetic progression. So let us begin with what an arithmetic progression is. So we will take two real numbers A and B, B real numbers. Then the numbers of the form A, then it is A plus D, then it is A plus 2D, A plus 3D, A plus 4D, it goes on. The sequence of this format is called as an arithmetic progression, and whereas it is abbreviated as AP. So the number A, the term A is called as the first term of an arithmetic progression, and the D in this represents a common difference. Let us see an example of what is an arithmetic progression is. I am considering the example 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. It goes on. So number 2 represents the first term A, and it is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, it goes on. What is D is, as I told you, this is a common difference, it represents in this AP. If you see the consecutive numbers, the difference between any two consecutive numbers is 2, because the difference between 2 and 4 is 2, and the difference between the second term and the third term is 2. Difference between the third term and the fourth term is constant, which is 2. So that is why it is called as a common difference. If it comes so only, we can say it is an arithmetic progression. That is, in a sequence, if a common difference is constant between any two consecutive numbers, that is called as a common difference. And an AP is denoted as A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, it goes on, etc. So in an AP, the difference between two consecutive numbers is constant. The difference between any two consecutive numbers is constant, and that constant value is called as a common difference. The constant value is called the common difference. So let us see with this an example. We will consider the example 4, 8, 12, etc. It goes on. So this is an AP. How do we say this is an AP is, if I take the difference between any two consecutive numbers, it is equal, because the difference between 4 and 8, that is the first term and the second term, the difference is 4. Similarly, the difference between the second term and the third term is also 4. So this is an AP. According to the definition of an AP, this 4 is called as the A value, and D is the 4. D is a common difference, and which is constant. It should be constant in a sequence. And arithmetic progression is of two types. The first one is, if the number of terms is finite in an AP, then it is called as an finite arithmetic progression. So example is, let us consider an example 2, 4, 6, 8. So in this AP, that is in this sequence, the arithmetic progression, there are only finite number of terms. There are only 4 terms. Then it is called as a finite arithmetic progression. And the second type is if there are infinitely many terms in an AP, then it is called as an infinite arithmetic progression. So example for this is, we will consider same thing, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. it goes on. We don't know how many number of terms it has. It has infinitely many number of terms, then it is called as an infinitely arithmetic progression. Whereas in the previous example we have only 4 terms, therefore it is a finite arithmetic progression. And the next topic we are going to see is terms and common difference of an AP. So first let us see the terms of an AP. The terms of an AP are, as I already told you, arithmetic progression is defined as A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, etc. it goes on. This is called the first term, which we can represent it as T1, and this is called the second term, we will represent it as T2. Similarly, this is T3, T4, it goes on, etc. So first, the first term in an AP is A, which can be denoted as T1, A plus 1 minus 1 into D. I am representing the first term in terms of D also, whereas A is the first term. I have written 1 minus 1 into D, whereas 1 minus 1 will give me 0. 0 into anything is again 0. What will we get T1 as? We will get the T1 value as A. We have written T1 in such a format. Similarly, T2 can be written as A plus 2 minus 1 into D. If it is 1 over here, it is 1. If it is 2 over here, it is 2. Because if we solve this, that is after simplifying this, what will we get? A plus 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 into D is D. So A plus D we have written as A plus 2 minus 1 into D. Here 2, then we have to represent here as 2. Similarly, T3 can be written as A plus 3 minus 1 into D. We have 3 over here and we have represented A plus 2D as A plus 3 minus 1 into D, because after simplifying this we will get only A plus 2D, because A plus 3 minus 1 is 2, A plus 2 into D. So we have represented third term in such a format. Similarly, if I keep on doing the same thing, I can represent Tn as A plus n minus 1 into D. Whereas in this also, A is called the first term and D is the common difference. Therefore, we can represent the term Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the last term in a arithmetic progression and is represented as such. Okay, so under terms and common difference of an AP, we saw what terms is. Next, we are going to see what are common difference of an AP. So, common difference of an AP, how we going to define this is, in general, to find the common difference of an AP, should subtract first term from second term. Similarly, the second term should be subtracted from third term. So this is the general format to find the common difference. As I already told you, according to the definition of an arithmetic progression, it can be represented as A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, it goes on etc. Whereas this is represented as T1, that is first term, T2, T3, T4, etc. So to find the common difference, what should we do is, we have to subtract the first term from the second term, which means T2 minus T1. The value of T2 is A plus D minus value of T1 is A. So plus A and minus A will get cancelled. T2 minus T1 will give me D. So this is the way to find a common difference. This is applicable to all other consecutive terms. Now what we did is, we have separated first term from the second term. Similarly, we can subtract second term from the third term, and that could be done as T3 minus T2. Whereas T3 is A plus 2D minus T2 is A plus D. We have minus over here. I am putting it in brackets, A plus D. So simplifying by removing the brackets, A plus 2D minus A minus D. Therefore T3 minus T2 will give me plus A and minus A will get cancelled. 2D minus D is D. So with this itself we can come to a conclusion that the common difference between any two consecutive numbers is constant, because T2 minus T1 gave us the value D. Similarly T3 minus T2 gave us the value D. If I do T4 minus T3, it will also give me the same value D. So this is the way to find a common difference in an AP, and this in general can be written as D equals to T2 minus T1, T3 minus T2, T4 minus T3. So in general, D can be written as Tn minus Tn minus 1. And an important thing to note is that the D value could be positive, negative or 0. That is the common difference of an AP arithmetic progression can be positive, negative or 0. It could be any of these three.